congrats on the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember the first time you were here, we talked about it, but yeah, just congratulations, amazing. You're a double agent this season though, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's a spoiler, but.
Oh, it's not
it was in
live.
that clip. No.
Oh, okay, I was
in the
like,
clip.
it's not
Yeah.
live. Is that crazy? Because you're playing, look, that's a little bit Inception for me, because you're playing an agent, and then you're playing a double agent, and then you're also acting as the agent who's playing the double agent.
You're thinking about it more than I think about it.
I would need a little bit of tequila before doing that.
Yeah, it was interesting because he's just dealing with the consequences from season 2. So it's like, you know, he's working for Lewis Monroe, and yeah, he's just dealing with the fallout from making that terrible decision at the end of season 2.
Happens to us all.
There I am.
So wait, you shot a lot in Istanbul, right?
Yes,
Did you get to, I know you're working a lot, but did you get to actually see Istanbul and like go around?
We did a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, we walked, we saw the Blue Mosque and the Hagia Sophia, and yeah, we went around all the cool cisterns and like Roman, the history.
Yeah.
Every culture's been through there. So it's a crazy sort of like sedimentary rock of civilizations like piled on top of each other.
Yeah.
My favorite was the Theodosian walls, which are basically like this 3-layer wall systems that Theodorus built. And then like Belisarius walked through there, Roman generals, and he had his Bucalari and Harold Hardrada and all these guys. So like military history, I just
nothing
love, yeah.
you've just said do I understand.
Yeah. No.
I was like, I was gonna go, yeah, totally. I like not one word. And also, no, I do like seeing historical stuff though, when you go places, because I think also I grew up in a small town in Texas, so there's, we don't have anything like that. Like, that's, you know, thousands of years old. Like, do you retain though? You seem like a person that retains it. I see it and I'm in it and I'm present, and then I'm like, man, I saw this really cool wall, and it was like layered, and I'm like, I don't retain well.
Yeah, a little bit, but I need like, I need to see it to retain. I'm not good with dates and numbers, but I'm good with like events or people or actions.
With the FBI, so you get to like train with the FBI for this, which is I think the coolest thing being an actor. You get to like train with, and just find out from people that really know what they're talking about. Like not many people get that intel in life. Like you want to know, or you'd want to, you know, find that out, but you actually got to like work with the FBI, right?
A little bit, yeah. We have, you know, ground branch guys. We have CIA guys. We have, you know, my buddy Drew, who's in 5th Group. He was a Green Beret. He sort of oversaw the weapons handling stuff. I went up to Team O'Neill in New Hampshire and did a bunch of loose surface driving.
I know, what's like loose surface driving? I heard you talk about that.
It's basically like rally driving, any car, any surface. So you want to run like rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive on any surface, how to drive on ice, how to drive a rear-wheel drive and shift-lock brake and do a hairpin turn.
Sure, that's when I shift and I
shift-lock braking
and
is sick
I'm just gonna throw some words out there.
Yeah, no, it's
that's
just
crazy. So you drive like that? You convince them, right, to let you do a pretty dangerous stunt.
That's what I was so excited about, though. It was basically, originally it was scripted like a 3-point reverse turn, so I pull into an alleyway and then I pull out. And I was like, they would catch me, I'm screwed. So basically I pitched them, I had Josiah under the guise of getting wheel time and feeling out the Renault and feeling the clutch and everything. I was like, give me a parking lot. And then I put him in the back seat off the back right pillar of the car. And I showed them the shot on an iPhone of me looking past the lens, throwing this reverse 180, getting my clutch in, all that stuff. And then they were basically like, no, that's insane. You know, you'll die. Yeah. Because you're in a big parking lot and this road we're filming on is 10 feet wide on cobblestone in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, no, trust me, I can do it. And I sort of wore them down till finally they were like, yeah, go for it. And I got to, I risk my life for a sick shot.
You're like, then they let me get behind the wheel. Yeah. That was another look at him in season 3 of The Night Agent. It's now out on Netflix. So is it true that you almost lost this part because of a beard? You got some powerful facial hair.
Yeah, that is true. I had a big beard for something else, and I sent in a tape, and they were like, you don't look like an FBI agent. And in fairness, I think the amount of tapes they were getting, they were just going off initial reaction to your face, so I understand. I didn't take it personally. I learned not to
How do you not take that personally? We didn't like your face, so I was like, damn.
Yeah, I don't know. It has nothing to do with you.
No, I get it. I just was being funny, but you started acting because of your sisters. Were you reading with them? Is that what I heard?
Yeah. I was playing the brother for them, and the initial line was like, they walked through the kitchen, and I said, "Where are you going?" And I remember as a kid, I was like, I I can say that. Like, that's my whole life.
I'm gonna crush this. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I got
Are
into
they
it.
kind of what got, they were into like acting and stuff, and then you
They
were like,
wanted to, yeah.
yeah, that's kind of cool. Awesome. What was your first role?
I was in middle school and I played the whale.
Wow.
Yeah. The whale.
Were you just so excited at that opportunity? What do you mean?
I think it wasn't voluntary. I think you had to do it in class.
Okay. Wait, you ended up getting to work with an idol though, Clint Eastwood. So what was that like? Was it intimidating?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird meeting people like that sort of span generational.
Yeah.
You know.
Like
talents
everyone's
and stuff.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, like my dad's a huge fan, and then my grandfather watched him, so it was kind of bizarre. But my favorite thing about working with him was like, he parked a massive Airstream from like the '70s on set.
Fine.
And he would just wake up from his nap, and the first AD, Bernie, would come over and be like, Clint's up from his nap, we go in 3 minutes. And just realizing that he'd walk on set, sort of chill out, watch, and go, and then go back and take a nap. I mean, he's 94, so it's like, it's pretty awesome, yeah. But he's doing dips and pull-ups and stuff, so.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's, I don't know about now, but he was pretty awesome.
Well, you are directing. I want to talk about that. We were talking about it in the break.
Yeah.
So have you always wanted to kind of direct?
I think it was a natural sort of progression into that. I'm not sure I wanted to, but it was something, because I write too, so then my writing's very visual, and then I was like, well, I see this in my head, and last time we talked about my pen and ink drawings and stuff, so I know visually what the thing is. And then what I really enjoyed about it though was sort of, there's a lot of like micromanaging and bureaucracy, I guess, in filmmaking now, where studios and executives sort of, I don't know, control the art side when they're on the business side.
That happens in music too, they try.
Yeah, it's very sort of difficult, and I get it's a business, but watching people who have 4 decades in this business be micromanaged to death is like soul-crushing for me. And so it was cool to see, you know, for example, the DP, Lula, who was also our camera operator, like giving him permission to like follow his gut on something.
Yeah.
Like just, you can see his soul in the movie.
Well, you hired him for his gut, so why don't you let him use it? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like you're undermining your own judgment when you hire someone and then don't let them do their job. And it's a kind of unbelievable thing in this business now where, like if they were to make Jaws, it'd be the Meg. You know, they'd VFX the shark, you'd always be able to see it. There'd be no sort of puppeteer like in The Thing or whatever, puppeting these things. It's like, let the artists be artists. And if they need boundaries, sort of step in. But it was really cool. I remember we did a previs for this shot, and we shot listed the whole movie, but we got to the night to shoot it, and Lula originally was supposed to stay back, sort of, and he was like, Gabe, I just want to be like here. And he moved the camera into my face, and I was like, Lula, gut check, dude. Go with your gut. And that was one of my favorite shots in the movie, and it had nothing to do with me. It was birthed out of his head.
It did have to do with you, because that's a great director, like that's a great leader, is knowing when to let other people that you've hired to lead in what they do. Yeah.
It was just cool, the smile that got on his face, and like I just got to let him be Lula. It was awesome.
I totally get you. So that's the thing, like music-wise too, like when I'm with my band now, it's like, you just like, even right now, we've been writing, and it's like, you want to feel like that kid again that was excited about art. You know what I'm saying? And not have all the like preconceived things that people are throwing at you. Oh, radio friendly. Oh, you got to sell this, or you got to do this to make it. It's like you don't have any of that going on. You just do it because you're having a good time.
Well, and also it's fractal. So, you know, maybe you have 1,000 people that relate to your soul and what you're saying as the musician, as the writer. And then your guitarist, when they get involved, they have 100 more people.
Their own vantage point. Yeah, their own thing.
It's so like at any point it's exponential. Of if 400 people that are involved in a movie, if they all pour their soul into the thing and are allowed to, how many more people are going to relate to that project because so much more focus and energy went into it instead of just me. And I think that creative sort of tyrannicism is the death of this business. So.
Yeah.
But you're also asking for $100 million to make a movie.
Yeah.
It's like, how about ask for 5, because that number is insane.
Yeah.
And make a good movie instead of spending the GDP of like a country on an animated, bloated mess.
I love talking to you so much.